White folks, if you do not know who Abraham Traore is, you need to look it up. If you don't know the history of Burkina Faso and their leadership, you need to look it up. And look up, while you're at it, other leaders in Africa. Look up the South African leader and how they're speaking. Look up the leaders of Niger and how they're speaking. Look up what's happening in Africa, because it is our own salvation that is in the hands of, or needs to be in the hands of, African leadership, and they're standing up, and we should support that. Let me tell you why. See, our culture is a death-based culture. Our culture has been trying to rule and dominate and control resources that exist in Africa, resources that we need in these northern regions. And so rather than just be a part of humanity and ask for these resources, we have done everything to manipulate and to lie and to cheat and to steal and to harm and to create weaponized and wars in Africa amongst Africans, and do whatever we can to distract and extract and exploit African resources. But the greatest African resource is the humans that live there. And they have a level of humanity that is not in white culture. I speak about it constantly in Race for What. We don't understand that our systems are designed without love in mind, and African leadership and African people have a sense of love that we don't understand how to tap into. It's not that we're not capable of learning it, though. We can. We need to understand this transitional period where the colonial empires are being recognized for how wicked we are, even though they're so far advanced in this game. Yet all of the advancements in technology, all of the advancements in life and understanding and our connection right now that we have on this planet and have access to, if put in the right hands, can actually heal the planet. And therefore our responsibility as those who have been weaponized is to support what is happening in Burkina Faso.
I just watched President Traore's speech. This man is so wise, it's not even funny, all right? Mr. President, you said that they want to control your resources, and then your youth is forced to migrate over there to make a living. You are absolutely right. On top of it, what they do to those people that migrate here, it's shameful. They send ICE to detain them and to deport them. These days, they don't even send back to the original country. They send them to El Salvador. I am the prime example of how ruthless America has become. I married a U.S. citizen 14 years ago, and they still detained me back in Hawaii, and they tried to deport me. Yeah, they treat like shit anybody who they think they're below them. I applaud you, Mr. President Traore, for standing up to them.
Do you know that only 5 countries of this world hold meaningful power in the UN Security Council? None of them is African. More than half of the world's population is not represented in the UN Security Council. It is neither democratic, it is not representative, it is not transparent, it is not accountable. As a result, it is unable to effectively respond to the pressing peace and security needs of the parts of the world most affected by conflict and insecurity in our global south. Its attitude to conflicts is geographically determined, and its intervention is likewise biased.
Plants in Gambela area, Burkina Faso, many youths have already been employed. Take a look at this. Small time exportation will start happening. They will be exporting their finished goods to other neighboring African countries here in Africa. Take a look at this happening in Burkina Faso. Their youths, only their youths are being employed. Many factories within 3 years to 4 years of Abraham Traore being the president of Burkina Faso. Many factories, not one, not two, not even 10, not even 20, many of them has already started production in Burkina Faso. Take a look at Abraham Traore means business. He's not joking. He's not playing around. This is what is happening right away. What do you think? Drop your comments in the comment section.
Breaking news. You will not believe this has just happened. Now, the leader of the Nation of Islam in OI, Minister Louis Faraham, has called for the rise of all Africans to rise against the Western forces. He has called Africans to pray for Abraham Traore and his family. You can see that is now happening. This is now a warning to President Abraham Traore. Let's help this man not to accept anyone from Western countries to come in the name of any kind of apology, because this is a target. They want to eliminate this man. African, let's rise. Let's pray for Abraham Traore. Let's pray for the African president, because he's not well with his family. Yes, he's not well with his family.
And the reason they don't like Abraham Traore, the new leader, the new president of Burkina Faso, is because he redid the terms of his country's natural resources. He said, if you don't like the terms, there go the door. This is why they don't like him. He is for the betterment of his country and his people. He want to see his country thrive. He want to see his people educated. He want to see his people taken care of. That's why he told the people that came in wanting to build mosques, we don't need mosques. We need hospitals. We need schools. This young man is 37 years old. He's young. And he want the best for his country and his people. And he told those foreign countries, there's the door if you don't like the new terms. This is why they don't like him. This is what it's about. Control. He's not for it. He don't care about billionaires and millionaires. He care about his people, his country, and the betterment of his country and his people. Let me know in the comments how you feel about the way that Abraham Traore is running Burkina Faso at this current moment.
It started with a single encrypted message from Washington: we need the gold. All of it. The White House lights were still on at 3 a.m. A new order was being drafted, one that could change Africa forever. Burkina Faso is sitting on untapped fortune. Gold they can't even protect. We gave them democracy. It's time they give something back. I want 80% of their reserves on a US plane in 30 days. The message didn't go through normal diplomatic channels. It was sent straight to Ouagadougou via a private military envoy, President Traore. This isn't a request. It's a strategic directive. The United States government expects full cooperation or expect consequences. In the capital, silence fell across the military council room. Traore sat still. No fear, no smile, just one quiet breath. Tell your president, Burkina Faso does not trade sovereignty for survival. We mined that gold, we bled for it, and we will keep it, all of it. That single sentence triggered the first global resource standoff of the decade. Washington doubled down. The CIA launched Operation Dust Trail, covert destabilization, proxy alliances, economic sabotage. But something unexpected happened. Africa stood up. Washington reeled in disbelief. Traore's defiance wasn't just bold, it was unprecedented. In the early morning hours, the National Security Council convened under emergency orders. Coffee-fueled and tense, top advisors huddled around a situation room monitor displaying images of gold mines in Burkina Faso. "This is a threat to U.S. interests," one advisor said. "No," Trump replied, narrowing his eyes. "It's a challenge to American dominance." Trump stood and paced the room. "We made Africa, we built their governments. We kept the lights on in half those countries, and now this man-child dares to spit in our face. He wants to play empire? Then he's going to learn what power really looks like." Orders were given, covert units were activated, Operation Dust Trail moved into Phase 2. The CIA flooded West Africa with agents posing as NGOs, aid workers, and journalists. Their mission was simple: destabilize Traore's government from within. But Traore was ready. Burkina Faso's intelligence service, bolstered by unexpected technical help from unnamed allies, intercepted multiple communications. Operatives were quietly identified and monitored. Some were turned, others disappeared. At a military camp outside Bobo Dioulasso, Traore addressed his elite guard. "We are the guardians of something greater than gold. We are the shield of dignity. If we fall, the continent falls. Stand with me." The response was thunderous. The soldiers saluted, their faces hard, with resolve. Meanwhile, back in Washington, Trump held a press conference. The United States cannot allow rogue regimes to hoard global resources. Our goal is stability and fairness. We will take appropriate action. But there was hesitation from unexpected quarters. At the UN, several African nations issued a joint statement. Sovereignty is not negotiable. Africa will not return to the chains of economic slavery. China remained silent, but their trade envoys landed in Ouagadougou the next day. Russia made no speeches, but a private jet arrived from Moscow, landing unannounced. Turkey sent medical aid and military engineers hidden within it. The geopolitical board was shifting. Washington had aimed to isolate Traore. Instead, it had drawn the world's eyes to him. Inside the U.S. military, questions stirred. General Langley of AFRICOM raised concerns. "We're pushing too fast, too loud. This isn't the Middle East. Africa's watching, and they're not fragmented anymore." Trump dismissed the warnings. This is a test of will, and we're going to win. But in Burkina Faso, Traore wasn't just holding the line. He was preparing a counter move. He ordered the gold mines to be fully nationalized. No foreign hands allowed. Every gram was tracked, secured, and transported under armed guard. A new digital system was launched showing the world exactly how much gold Burkina Faso had and where it was. Transparency as defense. And then he made the boldest move yet. On national television, flanked by military leaders and miners in dusty uniforms, Traore spoke directly to the people of the world, to the citizens of Earth. Understand this. This is not a war for gold. It is a war for the future. We do not seek conflict, but we will not bow. Our gold is not yours. It is Africa's, and it will be used for Africa's children, not for bullets in someone else's empire. The speech went viral, translated into 47 languages, shared by millions. In Senegal, Ghana, and Kenya, young people marched in solidarity. In South Africa,
Burkina Faso government have laid another foundation for ecological and futuristic city in Burkina Faso. Take a look at this. Take a look at this. Work already started. In 3 years, this city will be completed. This is how the city will look like. In Ouagadougou, the capital city of Burkina Faso, Abraham Traore keep doing the miracle he knows how to do. Take a look at how the city will look like. Ouagadougou will look like in 3 years to come. Work have already started. What are you telling me? What are you telling me? Where is this guy getting the money from? That other African presidents cannot get the same money from that particular place. Infrastructures, development, rapidly moving in Burkina Faso right now as we are speaking. Guys, Abraham Traore is not joking. Abraham Traore is not joking.
I repeat, if our ancestors left us a land that we have found, we must leave better lands for our children. The fight is not only military, on the ground, but the fight is much deeper. In this sense, we must also strive to change the mentality. Our generation may have grown up in a system that has shaped us. It is very difficult to change perhaps, but not impossible. Perhaps among us, some still find themselves with traits whose extent we are unaware of. But I like to say, to quote an author, there is no more evil man who cannot change his heart if he is taught as necessary to have wisdom. I think each of us can change. And in this sense, it goes without saying that we can forgive ourselves when someone is not on the path we hope for, but at the same time teaching them the proper ways so that they can change. Because the deadliest weapon of imperialism today is manipulation, and the youth are the target. Our country, or I would say Africa, is mostly young, and the youth are the target of this manipulation. And when we realize it, we must fight against it. Most of the time, imperialism is not necessarily what comes from elsewhere, but they are among us. And it is among us that manipulation is born. I invite the youth to rid themselves of it, consistently seek accurate information, and always remember our diverse homelands throughout Africa.
America is so out of touch with reality, they think that the same playbook that they've been able to use on other African leaders is gonna work with Burkina Faso. This man bulked up his security before he tried anything. He first got the Sahara Alliance with Mali and Niger, and now other African countries are trying to join them. Pulled out of every Western-sponsored African Union. Made deals with Russia, China, and now has North Korea coming out and saying, we got his back if anything happens. You're not dealing with the Africa that you were able to manipulate. The Africa of our grandparents and our parents, where you manipulated and destroyed everything and convinced us that our countries were shitholes when you steal resources from our shithole countries. I am so proud of Burkina Faso and everything that country has been able to do, and all of the Sahel Alliance countries. Now we just need other African leaders to wake the F up and understand that Africa has the resources to dominate the globe, and it is time that we stop being considered a shithole continent altogether, because these countries have decided that they would rather keep us impoverished than working with African countries.
Africa has humiliated top Western arms dealers by producing better technology at a fraction of the cost. Burkina Faso's engineers turned 500 commercial drones into precision weapons that outclass France's 500 military drones and their 20 million surveillance fleet. Malian troops modified $300 hunting cameras to spot jihadists better than US thermal scopes that choke in desert heat. Nigeria's border guards track smugglers with solar-powered trail cams, while American satellites still confused armed convoys with goat herds. The secret is that African forces innovate out of necessity. They can't waste billions on equipment that needs air-conditioned hangars and imported spare parts. So instead they adapt. battlefield apps that work offline, weapons that survive sandstorms, and surveillance systems that actually understand local terrain. Meanwhile, Western contractors keep selling the same overpriced gear that failed in Afghanistan and Mali. Now, the difference is that African solutions actually work because they're built by people who actually fight there. All of this sounds great, but technology is just one part of the puzzle, because it's all about who controls Africa's security future. And for the first time, the answer isn't coming from Paris or Washington.